Yo, yo,
Yo,
yo.
yo, 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 yo. What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Unapologetically Black. I am your host, Rich, with RDI Financial, here with my co-host, Brittany. And tonight we got a special guest, Marine Corps veteran, Clarence Thomas. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? How everybody doing? Hope all is well.
All right,
And
we're
that
doing
I
all
can
right.
help.
So every day we start in with a mental health check-in, just to make sure everybody's doing good. How's your day going? How's your mental health?
We'll address. Is that addressed to me or Miss Brittany?
No, it was to you.
Whoever wants to answer. That's
Well, I'm in good spirits. Always prayed up. Thinking positive, trying to be positive, and making an impact.
all right, Britt, how your day going?
Pretty good. Tomorrow we leave for Michigan for my sister's wedding. So I've been running around getting some last minute stuff together. I still have to buy shoes and get my nails done. And then we're ready. It's an 8-hour drive.
The dress came in?
My dress came in. It did. It came in. Honestly, it came in a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So we get to Michigan at like 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday. And then everything starts from there. Rehearsal, brunch. My sister wants to do another bachelorette party because I wasn't in Vegas. So yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be team no sleep all weekend. Hey.
I feel you. My day's been fine. My little cousin has a football game today, so they went to go do that at the middle school. Other than that, I've been chilling, so nothing new. But today out there in internet land, we have a special guest. You guys know, as this month we talk about finances and finances related to Black people. We have a special guest, Marine Corps veteran, 20 plus years. He served his time.
Thank you for your service.
All the time.
Thank you. Semper Fi.
Mr. Clarence Thomas. So we're gonna get started. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, a little background and about you.
All right. I originally from Dallas, Texas, born and raised. Joined the Marine Corps and the end of '95. Retired out of there. Went into teaching. I still teach. I teach business and finance. I was teaching at one of the trade schools. I teach online. I currently, do rental properties. I also I'm trying to do some other businesses that I ain't gonna put out just yet. It'll be a surprise in the world. But I'm always an advocate of helping people, fix their credit, grow financially and grow financially smarter. I think that's the key, being financially smart.
Okay. So, what you got, Britt?
No. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Y'all got any questions? Just ask me some questions.
Well, no, I was just going to ask, as far as teaching goes, you said you teach business and finance. Where do you teach at?
Well, I was teaching at Lone Star Community College online and whatnot, in their business department and whatnot. So I do that, occasionally online. So.
Okay.
Now, is everybody in the Houston area, or are we in different parts? Because I said that.
We all in different parts.
Okay. My apologies.
No, you're fine. I'm in Maryland.
Maryland. Okay.
I'm in Maryland. I'm from Michigan, so there's a following in both states.
But
and then Dre's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but no one knows where that's at. So. But I met Ms. Thomas at Florida Career College. I was going in do my business course, and I was originally with another class. And as soon as he heard I was a vet, he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna need him in my classroom." So some stuff happened. We ended up switching over, and I ended up doing his. And that's not the crazy part. When we first started, and I was with everybody, it was fine. The crazy part happened when I had to change my schedule. I think I had 2 classes left.
Yep.
And it was just me and him in the classroom. So,
fun time.
I'm not saying that teachers abuse people, but what I'm saying is that what he did should not have been allowed. But no, great mind. He has a great mind for business. And so my question is how do you feel like business and finances, how do you feel like that affects the Black culture?
Say that question again for me.
How do you feel like business and finances affect Black culture?
Well, hey, that's a loaded question. It is definitely a part of our everyday life. What we as a community have to do is think. We're so focused on making money for others. We just need to transition that into making money for ourselves the right way. And we need more programs out there that teach our community how to uh, make their money work for them. We see our community out there working 40, 60, 80 hours a week, for a paycheck. And in the end result is it makes somebody else richer. So, we thinking we making money, but technically we're not, that's pennies on the dollar. So, I think it impacts us, greatly. I think we need to be more involved and like I said earlier, be smarter about how we obtain our finances and what our ingenuity can do for ourselves.
Right. So that last night we were actually talking about that, how I believe some black folk they're just scared to take that step out for themselves, right? They'd rather, not saying that a 9 to 5 is bad, right? Because
Yeah,
I don't want
absolutely.
to tell anybody that a 9 to 5 is bad, but they almost use it as a crutch because they are afraid to be like, oh no, let me go do this on my own and make my own money and then put money back into the family. It's all right, I made some money, let me go buy a Birkin bag or let me go buy this. We also talked about it with reparations, giving
Yeah.
people 200 plus $1,000. And then to me, I'm like, well, before we do that, we need to teach folk how
Yeah,
the money
financial
works
literacy.
for them, right? Before we just give it to them, because if not, I'll give you 200,000 today, and I know a lot of people that'll be broke come the end of the week.
Yeah.
You know,
We still got people in our community that don't believe in using banking institutions. So they have that old
They got
great
them
grandma,
rubber band banks.
mindset, well, I'm gonna keep my money in my closet or own me or in my, and again, those are part of the financial literacies that we need to make sure we bring to the forefront, because it's the small things about choosing the right banking institution. You remember a couple of classes where I was teaching your classmates and yourself about the differences between credit unions and regular banking institutions. All that stuff is important. All of the impact on us as a community and our finances. Here in Houston, we have one black owned banking institution. That's what I use as my business. That's what I use for my business, banking and whatnot. So, just learning about what's here, what's available to us, how we can uplift each other, how we can, help each other grow.
Nice, I agree. So you mentioned financial literacy and being financially smarter. How would you define financial literacy to someone who, I mean, just has not been taught anything by
Well,
anybody?
first and foremost, I think it starts with understanding corporate America, and that's tougher within itself. Understanding the importance of things that as a community we kind of shun from, like voting. Having our local politicians represent us, in the best way they can and whatnot. It may not always be perfect, but having them represent so we understand how taxes, how we're going to be taxed on those paychecks that we're getting. Inflation, understanding inflation and what it means to when we see you know um certain products being sold yesterday for 99 cents and understanding why it's $1.29 today. You know what I mean? So just the small things like that I think are very important for us as a community that we need to really get involved in, and then we can move into understanding uh, how our money can work for us and what we can do with our money. Understanding, like I said earlier, banking institutions, what is there available to us, understanding our credit, and how our credit affects us and how we can utilize our credit to, obtain the things that we want. The differences between credits, car credit, home credit, business credit, and some of the other small things that can help us be business owners, like, what is a S corp or C corp or LLC. Just, it's a variety of stuff. I think personally, and I hope I'm not, stepping my bounds, but I think personally, that our schools should be implementing financial, literacy starting,
Yep.
from first grade.
Absolutely.
We teach numbers, but why not, be more involved in, teaching the dollar and stuff like that. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we mentioned as well, was the fact that schools don't teach financial literacy, right? Because I feel the reason why they don't do it is because it's easier to control the worker, right? We want to get you prepared to work, not own things. And
absolutely.
if I can funnel information to you and say, all right, no, we're only going to teach you this, we're going to teach you that, you don't need to know this, you can learn this later, blah blah blah, so on and so forth,
Oh, yeah.
then I can better control you, right?
Right.
Which sucks, because it's ironic that you in school at 17, 18, so when you graduate high school, and that's just ironically when you start paying taxes as well. As soon as you graduate, like,
Right.
holy shit, I'm 18, I start working, I pay taxes now. But I just spent the last 10 years, 12 years not learning shit about taxes.
Right. And not only taxes, like now credit cards, you can get them and spend them. And
but we also talked about making sure parents that are responsible parents, you can put your kid on your credit card at 13, 14 to help grow their credit profile.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great point.
Facebook, responsible parents. Do not just throw your child on your credit card and ruin their stuff. Responsible parents only. Okay? If you can't pay your own bills, don't put your child on them.
It's true. It's definitely true.
But I think it starts with just honestly, just the want to know, right? A lot of people, a lot of us, I'm not going to be ashamed to admit it, a lot of us don't care about credit until it's time to care about credit, when I like go get something.
Or when we hear the word no, and we like, why? Because your credit. That's when we care about it.
That's when we care about it. And most of the time that deals with a car. When you go out, you're like, oh, I'm about to go get me, I'm saying? I'm about to go get me the new Jag that came out. And I made $30,000 a year and I want a $45,000 to $60,000 car. And then they tell you no because your credit's messed up. And you're like, wait, what? What's that? Or when you're trying to furnish a new apartment and you need to go to Cons or Rent Center, and they be like, yeah, but you only qualify for $1,000. Like, what? Why? Because your credit. YouTube knows all. I will get ready. Like, I believe in like the next 5 to 10 years, YouTube will surpass Google as a search engine.
YouTube University.
YouTube, you can get on YouTube and just about find anything that is legal. And you can find probably something not so legal. Okay, so it always starts there, the want and then the will to be like, you know what? How do I do this? I guarantee you, if you type it in Google, how to, you get a list of stuff of what they already think you're about to say. Yeah, how to do this.
I think that's the best part.
Yeah, and I think that's where we as a community have to be more involved to help spark that interest. Because when you start talking about monies and stuff like that, our community tends to clam up because we don't want nobody in our pocketbook and stuff. So with that to better. And I know there are a lot of programs out there that that support credit repair and all that. But again, I think it's something that we're gonna have to just be more actively involved in and figure out ways to spark that interest when it comes to that learning about your finances. I know a lot of churches, the church that I go to, they host financial literacy classes and whatnot. So that, and they teach, the importance of, everything we've been talking about, because we all know that it not only affects us, but it affects the members in our household and our children and whatnot, and when they leave. So we are the example as parents of what we should have our children doing And like you said, put them on the small things, put them on your credit card if your credit is correct and whatnot, or if you are paying your bills, as you say, that helps establish credit for them before they move out of the house.
Mm-hmm. And I believe now it starts with us, right? My parents didn't know this; they didn't understand this. So now it's up to me. I understand this. I'm learning. I know it now. It's up to me to teach my kids, right? And then teach them the importance of it, and then have them teach their kids, and so on and so forth. So where I said I was behind the eight ball on financial literacy, I didn't know anything about credit when I started college, and companies were just giving credit cards away, and that's the way that they get you. They'll give you a starter credit
Absolutely.
card.
But to speak
Discover
to
it.
what you were saying, Rich, to speak to what you were saying, I think that's the best part of like this generation, like being a millennial, having our own families, and having YouTube and different outlets to be able to learn these things. Because for so long, this information was like gatekept, kept out of the community, like learning about stocks, learning about credit, like a lot of that was not taught
Mhm.
to Black people. I mean, that's why there's generational wealth amongst white people. We only have 150 years of being able to do anything, and we weren't taught
Right.
any of that.
Right.
Like, so I think
Mhm.
that's the best part of having the internet and having forums like ours, and just, other places where people can talk about it and you can learn and, find different Black people who do things like fix credit like you guys do, and
And
someone you feel comfortable talking to about it.
that's true. And then, and it goes, I will, touch a little bit or make one comment on you said the amount of time, the 150 years, when we did figure it out and we were a prosperous community, our counterparts came in there and they destroyed it. And
Hmm.
everyone that was there, a part of that community, for those who know, they know. But I think also what comes with, learning finance is supporting each other. We have people out there that are really trying to be business owners and work for themselves. We as a community got to get out of this mindset that we want the hookup when it comes to our own community. But we're spending top dollar at the Galleria or something like that for Versace and all this, trying to impress an invisible person. So
And it's the same as just being a Black consumer. I'm not saying that you only have to shop at Black owned businesses, but what I'm saying is that Black people spend $1 trillion a year, and buying stuff. And instead of we can fund and grow our own communities. We really can. If we had the right mindset and we did what we were supposed to do instead of judging them, and be like, oh man, it's $30 for a shirt. Wow, that's too expensive. But then you'll go straight to Versace and spend $250 on a shirt. Like it makes no sense. And the reason why they don't have the brand recognition that Versace has is because we didn't give them the notability and recognition that Versace has. So that's why,
Yeah.
and I think we lost our guest.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm sure he'll pop back in soon.
Pop back in soon, but we'll give him a few more questions and then we'll let him be on his way. Uh, was that him? Yep, that's him right
Yep.
there.
We are clearly.
there you go.
Yeah.
Go.
I'm back. My apologies.
But yeah, so I think we have to do better in supporting Black-owned businesses. You know, giving them the opportunity to make mistakes like they would, and still to grow.
But I will
McDonald's.
also say with Black owned businesses, like as a business owner, you can't be trying to put everyone up on, right? Like your cousin may not be the best suited person for that position. And I think you see a lot of like people trying to help out others by giving them jobs, and they're not necessarily the best suited person, and that business goes downhill.
I
Like,
mean, I feel like that can go both
and
ways.
but you
Corporate
you see
America.
that because customer service is like the number one thing people complain about when it comes to Black business.
Yes, but I believe that's because they don't afford them the same opportunity that they do other businesses. McDonald's fucks people's order up left and right, and they'll go back to McDonald's every goddamn day.
No, I understand, but
You
when
see
I
what I'm
go to
saying?
McDonald's, the person who served me the fucked up order doesn't have a fucked up attitude all the time either. Like, and you like, I'm just being honest. Like, I'm being honest.
I mean, a different McDonald's has ended up on World Star because
Like,
every
they
time
still had a smile on their face. They just fucked up my order. Like, that's different than I walk in and I feel like I pissed you off because I'm trying to spend my money.
you know,
Like, that's the reality of a lot of that situations with Black businesses. It's not all of them. I would never say that, but a lot of those experiences are like that. They're not positive, and I
What are you
really
doing?
think that's
No,
because
and I
we're
know damn well
so.
you're not.
I really think that's because we do want to like reach back into our community and help out, but that's just not, that may not be the best way to support or allow your your people to support.
I know,
Like,
and I
you
hear
might be
you.
a better fit customer
I hear
than
you.
my cashier.
I
Like,
hear you. And I believe in the hiring process. I believe in interviewing and hiring. Make sure you hire the right people. But we've watched corporate America hire people that were not fit for the job, that had no experience, and hired them just because they were white, and they would not hire you
absolutely.
because you were Black.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that we should do that, but I mean, shit. If I have a Black grocery store like we talked about a few weeks ago, if I have a Black grocery store that caters to Black people, I'm going to put all Black people in the grocery store because
And you should. You
we
should.
know the environment, we know the area, we
Hmm.
know what Black people want. It would
Absolutely.
be awkward for me to have an Afro Black market and then have a white guy standing at the counter.
I agree.
It would be
I'm not saying go outside of there. I'm saying, like you said, the hiring process, like find the best suited people to help promote your business. Because I feel like a lot of times we reach back and we're like, my cousin needs a job, so and so needs a job, and that's not their dream. So they don't work as hard as they should. And
right.
you see a lot of that is all I'm saying. So when we talk about supporting Black businesses, that goes across the board. If you're an employee in one, like, take pride in being an employee in one. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so.
I still believe that we should have more of an open mind when it comes to dealing with Black owned businesses. Allow them some mercy and grace when it comes to working and handling out certain things because they might not be as advanced as another store.
Or as
If they're a
connected.
startup, what I'm saying? If they're a startup and they use Square, and then now you coming in pissed off because they use Square and not a regular Apple product. Like, I mean, we can't all afford that. But I'm starting, so and then it takes the dollar from the consumer to help me grow.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I've always been pro Black businesses, pro Black, stuff like that. I'll spend $150 on a jacket if I think the jacket looks nice. I don't care what Black customer made it. I think the jacket looks nice, and he believes it warrants $150, just like Gucci believes and Michael Kors believes that their jacket is worth $300, $400. And Michael Kors has blatantly said he don't want Black people wearing his product. That's not even like a maybe he said. No, he said it. I don't make my product for Black people, and I don't know why they wear it. So, but we'll still buy it, and I don't know why. But off my tangent, what are some things, Ms. Thomas? What are some things that you teach your kids when it comes to finances?
Well, from the jump, I teach them pretty much what I know. Understanding taxes, how first and foremost, understanding the importance of savings. A lot of our young adults live for today and don't understand the importance of saving for tomorrow. Hey, we got to get it today. Having just the small simple things like a Roth IRA that they have student Roth IRAs that our school age children can have. So and again, they look at 40, 50, and 60 years of age as so far away and don't understand why they got to hold their money until until that age, but it comes quick. And, just helping them understand how to save. The importance of, like you said, doing different stocks. I like some of the different apps that they've had here, as of late that help people invest. But you still have to be careful with that. People are investing in, with stocks through these apps and don't really understand, what a stock is. They don't even know, what the stock market or the NASDAQ, or how to read it so that they can make the right type of investments. They're doing stuff on whims and thinking that, they're going to get rich off of that. So, I teach my kids about, stocks, savings bonds, savings plans, something that's really, really important that, I want to get out is insurances, life insurance. A lot of our community don't have life insurances because one, they think it's janky. You're not finna, get life insurance because I ain't finna die no time soon type stuff. But those type of investments are not meant for us today. Those are those generational wealths that we have to keep going and helping the next generations after us. So, I teach my sons about all that. I treat them like my students sometimes. We go over, understanding property taxes, how to, practice accounting, and whatnot. Because again, if you want to be a business owner, even if you are an entrepreneur, you have to understand accounting and why that's important. Financial management, those basic, courses and stuff like that they have to offer that they don't stress until you get to college, which I don't understand. So,
and they honestly only, I mean, I went to Howard and they don't even, like, unless you're a business major,
yeah,
you don't take those courses at all. Because I was a psych major and I didn't do anything that had anything to do with business. So, like, I even had to do PE. I had to take swimming, but I didn't have to take a financial, like, literacy course.
Yeah. Which is highway robbery. Why the fuck am I taking swimming if I'm a psych major? Why? Electives are just a way for colleges to steal your money. I don't care what no one says. It's just robbing you because I should be able to come in, learn core material that goes to my degree, and then go on from there. I shouldn't have to come here, take band. I'm not counting.
And so this is why, business math, financial math should be part of every program. Because again, it doesn't matter if you are a PE teacher or you're a doctor. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner or the president of the United States. You have to understand how to, your finances. And you can't, I had fun when I was in algebra and taking all of those, upper level math calculuses and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't use those type of maths.
Absolutely.
So I understand them, but I can figure out the formula for whatever, but I don't use those maths. The maths that I use are the financial management, the business maths, the accounting. Those are what I use on a regular basis. So why not start at least implementing those type of as a core class from the very jump, in our schools and whatnot. So, and again, that's where we as parents, have to make the sacrifice and take a course or a program ourselves so that we can start teaching our own kids. And, we can't teach nothing that we don't understand. And that's how, the cycle continues. They won't stress, learning, how to read taxes, how to read your paycheck, just financial management, period, because we don't understand it ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
At what age
should take a basic accounting? Like
every
single person should take basic accounting.
Yeah.
And
I was going to ask, at what age would you suggest you start talking, and with what subject would you start talking to your children?
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was young, I was living the dream. As they say, where I was frivolously spending. But then I got attached to people who saw something more in me, and they became my mentor. But I started teaching my kids about money. When they learn to count. Again, we do that. We started, but we don't continue it. Teaching the kids what the differences between the coins and the dollar bills, and helping them understand that it's okay to buy candy or whatever, but this portion right here, you need to keep a portion, 10% at least, of your monies should go towards the saving. For understanding what an emergency fund is, and planning for stuff. And understanding that it just doesn't come, at the drop of a dime. So for my kids, I was teaching I think like again, I started teaching, finances to my kids when they started learning how to count. So, they're probably sick and tired of me being repetitive with a lot of the stuff.
Mm-hmm. But they gonna understand it when they leave on their own, and they be
Yeah.
like, all right, cool, I'm off to college. Oh, this is what Pops was talking about. Oh, this is what he meant when he. I do believe like around 10 to 11 is a good age for understanding. Mainly because the first thing that I would want to teach them is a profit and loss sheet, right? So it not even that it deals with business, but just what money's coming in, what money's leaving. Period, right? If you work, hey son, you work as you cut grass during the summer. Okay, cool. How much money is coming in? Okay, how much money are you spending? Okay, it don't matter how much money you make. If you spend just as much as you make, you're broke. Period.
Yeah.
You can make
And you can start that as well a little earlier, I believe. And I don't know, parents still do this, but when you giving your kids allowances and stuff like that, my kids were, they were doing what I called an earned allowance. They, of course, they had their tours and whatnot, and you earned your allowance, and you understand. I will teach them, with that allowance, yes, there are things that you may want, but then, the reason why you should save is because it might be something that comes up, like, those extra, football cleats, or your that extra wristband or something like that you think was cool, but if you broke, you can't get it because you had an allowance, you had money, but you chose to, spend it, unwisely, by having fun and stuff. So, you don't have to wait till they become teenagers. I would say once they start learning how to count, once they start learning how to get allowances, when Big Mama, give them that $5 for visiting her, okay, well, let's go to the bank, son. Let's just deposit your money. And kids are very, very, intrigued by that. They get excited when they get a chance to go to the bank and do a transaction, and the teller is speaking to them. So that sparking that interest and keeping that interest. Those are just some of the things that you could do, just to keep them going.
I got my boys. It's called Green Light. It's just a little bank account for kids that parents can put money into, and then they send them their little custom card, debit card, or whatever. And kids can, but parents can control how much they spend, how much they don't spend, shut off the card and stuff like that. So for parents that want to get started, we're not endorsed by Green Light. This is just me throwing out something that I do for my kids. All right. Now, Green Light, if you want to endorse us, that's a whole nother topic.
I'll cut the clip.
We'll make sure that we run it up on you. But yeah, that's definitely something that I think we should do, starting early, and we'll start seeing the changes. I think us millennials, not them older folk, us millennials, we have the advantage due to being able to see what our parents weren't able to do, and then just the growth of the internet, the growth of knowledge, and time changing things that are now more acceptable that weren't as accepted back then. So we have that advantage that we can then teach to our kids and say, okay, hey, look, we don't have that excuse anymore of, well, they kept me out, or well, nobody taught me, because I'm teaching, right? Because I've changed the way that the narrative goes. So now it's just up to you to learn and to maintain it. Because I already told my kids, anything that I have doesn't go to you; it goes to my grandkids, and it should always go to the next generation, follow. So I'll tell my kids, what you have aren't for your kids; it's for your grandkids, and that's how you keep money into the family.
I endorse that as well too. I definitely endorse that, because again, what we should be doing with our children, and I'm not telling you what to do with your children, but what I do with my kids, they understand. I teach them the game, and they are living the game, and living, off of what I, my accomplishments, so I'm teaching them how I accomplish the things that I accomplished financially and whatnot. But then, everything that I own that is owned is going to go to our grandkids, because again, that's us doing our part to help that generation. And I think, and this is just a way that if we get into that mindset, that it'll definitely, grow, that financial tree within, your family.
Right. Oh, I thought your eyes was closed, but your camera was frozen.
Mine?
Yeah, I thought you were just sitting there asleep.
Oh.
We're not that boring.
I'm hoping
not
I'm hoping I'm not boring.
You fall
Absolutely
asleep.
not.
I can only imagine what the audience is doing.
No. I'm not.
But no, that's those are all great points. Big one, like we said before, big thing is definitely life insurance. If you do not have life insurance, get it now. Okay, everyone says, "Oh, I'm not gonna die that young." Okay, like you know how many young people say that and then pass away, and it helps. It helps you get life insurance on everyone. I understand that we don't want to get life insurance for our kids because we don't want to put that on them. However, that happens. Children pass away, and I would rather be able to take the time off of work because I got the life insurance, be able to grieve appropriately versus the shit. I ain't got no money. Nah, not only do I have to deal with that, but now I got to go to work and deal with people that I don't even like. You know what I'm saying? Or I have to go run a business, and I have to because I'm the silent foundation for the business. If I'm not making sure it's run properly, then it goes to not only did I lose my child, but now I lost my business because I'm not running it properly. Where that money allows you to be able to sustain and grieve properly, or set up, for the elderly, set up your family. When grandma passed away, all grandma left was bills, a house that wasn't hers, that we got to pay somebody else to get. But when grandma sadly passed away, she left her family $400,000, and then they took that money and they bought income producing assets. Notice I said income producing assets, not liabilities. Income producing assets. Your house, unless you rent it out, is a liability and not an income producing asset. Your car, unless you rent it, Turo or somewhere like that, is a liability. That's another thing people need to understand. Assets and liabilities. Assets make you money. Liabilities just cost you money. That's those two things in a nutshell. All right. If you want to know more about that, you YouTube it. I am to that. So, but that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining us.
Most definitely.
Time out of your day to give us a little bit of insight on some more stuff. We can't go too far because then we'll end up ruining other episodes that we have planned out for the rest of the month when we talk in depth about certain things.
That's what I was going to ask as well too. If you guys are doing more podcasts, especially when it comes to financial literacy, have more focused topics and stuff. I'll definitely, give me a topic, and I'll definitely be able to, hone in on it and do my part. We make sure that it's understood.
Definitely. We definitely keep you in mind for the rest of them. Like always, y'all catch us again on Saturdays for Shit Talk Saturday, where we don't
it's
talk
you and Brad this weekend.
We talk all things ignorancy and related to the culture. Only on Saturdays.
Babe, you're in my camera. I need you.
Yeah. Tell Uncle Ray to move. So until next time, all right, when we catch you guys on Saturday. Until then, love, peace, always stay unapologetically black. Peace out, my folks.
All right.